Yo, 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 what is up? It's God's Will, and I got another special guest, my homie Tracy. I have been wanting to have you on for a minute. I appreciate you bringing me onto your side of things on Twitch. Just like a short introduction, like you have been killing it in the creator space. I've been loving your TikToks and videos, that really distill like that feeling of being in the anime world, but like it's never cringy or dorky. It gets that marrow, I think, and I'm excited to see you blow up, honestly. Like I've been seeing you grow like a ton. How long you been doing this actually?
Oh man, okay, let's see. I've been creating like TikTok videos since 2020. Yeah, I want to say like late 2020.
Okay.
I hopped onto the TikTok wave super duper late, but I've been doing it since then and
That's
been
pretty
diving
dope,
into
though.
other platforms over the past few years.
Like what inspired all that?
Honestly, my in-laws, my in-laws. So because I know you're a dancer. For those of y'all that don't know this about God's Will, man, he dabbles in dancing. The man can break, man. He can break dance for real. I be saying, yeah. You see
I'm trying to get like you though. Like I see your stuff, and I'm like, that's a level, that like I'm trying to get to.
Bro,
Consistent.
Come to the dance studio whenever you want. I own a dance studio too, by the way. Oh, just so y'all know. Okay. All right. Need God's Will to come through. But no, what inspired like my creative journey was like when I was 13, I used to make videos with my best friend at the time in middle school, but it was short lived. It was like 6 months, but I really enjoyed it. And then we stopped, and then I got to high school, and I did it a little bit while I was sick for like a week in high school. I created a whole YouTube channel. Do not go look for it because it's
I'm about to say, I was like,
the video is still up. Every now and then when I go on YouTube, it pops up and I'm like, oh my God, my past is haunting me. But I see it on there. And I was like, okay, that was short-lived too. But every time I like dived into or dabbled into video creation, I really, really enjoyed it. I just never stuck with it because I didn't think it was something that was like a feasible career or something that was like possible to do. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do like sports or like psychology. But then, pandemic hit, and my in-laws knew that me and the wife wanted to open a studio, and we were talking about it for a while because we've been dancing and stuff. I've been dancing since I was 14 too. And they were
also,
like,
is that how you met her, by the way?
That is how I met her. Yeah. How I met my wife. She was my first dance instructor. She's 2 years older than me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was
touching. Yeah, I like that.
There's a long story to that, but they were like, hop on TikTok and just do dance because everybody's blowing up from dance. And I was like, I don't really like TikTok trend dances. I did one because of them bugging me about it for like 4 months.
Got to make the investors happy, right?
Yeah, they bugged me and the wifey so much. And it was a blessing, and I was like, okay, I did one, and I was like, this is cringing me out. I deleted that video. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to just tell funny stories. And then the adventure continued and grew into what it is now.
It's impressive. Like I'm really impressed, especially like how like you've made it like where like you don't even like have to like look like the characters anymore, but like you seem like very distinct people all the time. It's like I always am like, oh, you're portraying the Naruto guy, or you're portraying Tracy #2 or whatever.
Yes.
do you have like names for your different personalities, or is it just like this is just Naruto guy today, right?
I'm not gonna pull a Nicki Minaj and be like I have an alternate personality or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like whenever I get into like my creative mindset, I guess I do kind of like shift into a different person a little bit, and I kind of just don't care about what's happening around me. I'm just so locked in on portraying this character to the best that I can. And honestly, I'm trying to feed into that personality a little bit more because I do want to act a little bit better. Like something that you pointed out to me a few days ago was like, oh, when you did the One Piece thing, like I felt your pain in that video because it seemed like you were legit hurt.
Yeah.
I was like, I was actually trying a little bit to like act in that. So
Gives
I'm
man
trying
an
to
Oscar.
give myself to it more. It's a work in progress. I have like 0 acting training, and it's actually something I do want to get into one day. One day I think that I might want to like try to audition and stuff, but I do want to take some lessons for sure.
Okay. What would you say your main focuses are right now?
Right now, my main focus is live streaming. To be honest, like building this whole Twitch community. I'm actually wearing my Twitch merch right now, Hidden Sub Village. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Looks dope.
Just came out. But I'm really trying to build that community up as much as I can, because out of all the communities that I've built, like I've taken my time to try to quote unquote master each and every single one, or kind of become a jack of all trades, I guess.
I like that.
So like it was TikTok first, got to like 1.5 million on there, and I was like, okay, it's time
congratulations.
to move on to. Thank you. Well, right now I'm on 2.8, but when I got to 1.5, that's when that's when I was like, you know what? I think I'm a hop on to Instagram and try to get something on there. So I hard focused Instagram for a few months and got to like 100K. And I was like, okay, cool. Because like the one thing I learned about different social media platforms is that if you have a following on one, it doesn't transfer to the other ones.
Yeah, which is sort of wild. Although I think, like, is that like mainly like TikTok, like where like TikTok's harder to go to other places, or is it like everywhere? Like, like whether you start on Instagram or anywhere, it just doesn't translate to other spots.
I will say that I think Instagram being the hardest one to grow on, at least from my experience, is also the one that's the most transferable as well. Like you can go on Instagram and put a story up and be like, oh, I'm going live on Twitch, and a few people might join, but you do that same thing on TikTok and like you might get like 2 people.
Oh,
like,
dang.
will come and join, like it's super duper hard on TikTok. And I think it has a lot to do with like the attention span,
Yeah. I actually was just wondering recently. I was like, is TikTok like really like the best place for creators? It's like it feels like, people don't interact with the creator as much, but they're like, oh, that was a cool video. Maybe, I'll keep up with this. But I'm not sure. I try to stay away from TikTok personally. Outside of work, I'm just like, let me not, I think like the good TikToks filter to like the other channels, honestly.
Yeah, no, I totally understand like wanting to stay away from TikTok. And like to be totally transparent, like I have a love-hate relationship with the app right now. Like I love it because it was the first place that I grew on, but it has definitely changed to something different, especially over the past year. Like it's a lot of TikTok shop stuff, and they push different kind of content than they used to push. Like people that like me that create skits and stuff like that don't get as much push as somebody who is just in the car and you can see them shuffling with their phone and they're about to go on a rant about how they went off on somebody at Walmart. And everybody's like, yes, queen, do that. Like that's the kind of content they're pushing, or the TikTok shop people, so it's not really the same as it used to be, I will say. I still think it is a good place for creators. I think that all creators should be on it. I don't think that it's a bad platform by any means, but it has definitely changed for the better for some people and for the worse for some people.
Okay, I think that's really well said. For me, I'm a hater of TikTok. I was actually hoping TikTok would die before the pandemic. Like I was like, oh, it's so close to dying. Like I was hoping. Like, because before the pandemic, I don't know. Like, I just was like, TikTok seems sort of dumb. But, also to hear this, like, it makes a lot of sense to see that. Like, it seems like it values, in fact, actually a bigger thing about social media as a whole. Like, I sort of wish it was more to reward the creativity, that people have versus more like what gets people riled up in a way,
Yeah. It definitely seems like that's the direction that at least TikTok is going in. Like they want that spicy content that's gonna like piss people off. It's almost becoming like Twitter, but like video version of it. I would say like and I ain't got nothing against Twitter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I personally stay away from Twitter because I can't with all the controversial.
It's
stuff.
wise.
Like,
I'm also hoping that Twitter's going to die soon,
I don't know if Twitter will ever. Well, I mean, I guess it's X now. So
it's some wild things happening. Like, like the Viz. Actually, one day you got to come to the Viz office, but the Viz office is in the Twitter building in San Francisco. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But Elon just moved the Twitter part out of, the Twitter building.
What?
Yeah.
So they're relocating.
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, hey.
And,
Elon.
Although it's more like because like he hadn't paid like the lease like in that area.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Bro.
So I'm like, we're gonna see what that means for Twitter.
Come on, Elon, you can afford that bill.
Right, straight up.
You can afford that bill, man.
Straight up, but
you can. Hey, you know what? Hey, it might be an opportunity for Viz to expand in the building.
Take over. No longer the Twitter building, we're the Viz building.
Have like an extra manga room,
Hey, there we go.
Something like that.
Yes, to the masses. Honestly, maybe that's what we need to do. That's hilarious.
But to further elaborate on your question, though, like I think I can't necessarily say what the best platform is for creators. I would say as a creator, try to find one that works for you. Because I personally have like creator friends that don't thrive on TikTok, but they thrive on Facebook.
And it's Facebook, like, okay.
Facebook, you're thriving on Facebook, and they're like, yeah, bro, I'm like got 1 million followers on Facebook. I'm like, how do people still use Facebook?
I know, right? Straight up.
And it's like, just find what works for you. I recommend to try everything and dip your hand in whatever. I'm gonna just say my top 2 is YouTube and Twitch. Those are my top 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good. Like, I mean, I've been worried about, also this is like good for me, like as like a marketer in the social media space. Like, I'm always interested in like what people who really are doing it, like what they think, especially these days. It makes me a little sad, like how social media like has been changing, but like not like to the spot like where anyone's happy at the moment, Yeah, it feels like everyone's like sort of disappointed in like all the social medias at the moment.
Yeah, I think that there's a lack of, like what you said, there's a lack of appreciation for creativity. People nowadays, they much rather criticize than give praise to people. Woo! That's just, that's kind of just like what it is. And I don't really know when that started or what that's all about, but like people just became extremely harsh, and it's really weird because like I think over the pandemic, there was like this big let's not bully each other situation
right
going on,
Totally
like,
forgot about that.
Like, anti-bully, don't cyber bully. People are going to war for people, defending people, but like now you got people that got super duper big and they're getting bullied by people constantly. And it's like, bro, why is 50% of the comment section so negative? I've been blessed enough to have a pretty positive comment section.
I'm glad.
Like I would say like 80 to 90% of my comment section is pretty positive, or neutral, where people are just saying, I disagree with that, but all right, cool, do you think?
Whoa. Actually, like intelligent, like, or at least nice.
Yeah, people are mostly cordial in my comment sections. I think I've had maybe 1 or 2 videos where people have just been like crazy, but for the most part, people are super duper chill. Also, God's Will is an extreme professional because he is muting his mic while he's sneezing. Bless you, brother.
I tried. Thank you. It just like all of a sudden in the air. I think fall season's starting to hit now. Finally.
Yeah, it's time. I'm ready for winter.
Winter, really? Are you more cold?
I'm a winter guy.
Oh, really? Fall for me, but I prefer the heat than the cold.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yes.
You're a heat dude.
I'm too African,
well,
honestly.
That's because you throw yacht parties.
That's true. You can't do yacht parties in winter.
Yeah, you can. No, I love a good hoodie, a good coat, man. That's my style, bro. I don't like wearing shorts.
I start sneezing when I get cold in shorts, honestly. Yeah. I think I'm cold-blooded or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe so. My wife has said that like my body radiates heat like crazy. Okay. So maybe that's why I enjoy the winter, because I'm like really hot all the time.
Flameo hot man.
I don't sweat a lot. It's weird.
Oh, wow. You are blessed. For me, I get cold easy and I sweat a lot.
Yeah, see, I don't know what that is, bro.
See that, and for me as a dancer too, like I will just get drenched. I'll keep going, but no one wants to dance with me afterwards.
I mean, hey, I'll do it.
My man, I appreciate you.
I love a good sweat party.
Yes, hey, there we go. Ooh.
Yes, sir.
That's super dope. How long you been dancing, also?
Oh, okay. Well, I've been dancing since I was like, I want to say 14 years old. But that's like kind of a half answer because my training really started when I was 18.
Ooh.
But I was dancing for my church. Most people know, if you like follow me and stuff like that like I'm a proud Christian man. I have no shame about that.
That's dope.
But like I started off in ministry and dancing for church when I was 14. That's where I fell in love with dance. And honestly, like the first thing that I wanted to do with my life actually was dance for different churches around the world.
Oh,
That's what
wow.
I wanted to do. And I was doing that in Georgia, which is where I used to live. I was traveling from church to church throughout the state of Georgia, just like ministering and like doing different praise and worship songs at different churches. And it was pretty cool, but it was all for free and stuff because, I'm just like, I just want to do this just because I love it. But, when I turned 18,
Wow.
I'm like, okay, like I need money.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I was like,
Gotta do something with this. But God has definitely blessed me in so many different ways. But I think that definitely opened the door for what I wanted to do with dance. Because I did, at least where I lived, there wasn't any opportunities for me to actually go and take dance classes, just because of my life situation at the time.
Mhm.
So I would watch like a lot of videos of people that would dance in like LA, like at Millennium and stuff like that. And I would be like, oh, I really want to go take those dance classes, but they're just not available to me. So when I moved to California for college and I saw that there was a free dance class being held out here where I was at, I was like, I'm gonna go take that. And it just so happened to be my wife who was teaching the class. Well, now she's my
Wow.
wife.
Uh-huh.
But at the time I didn't know who she was. And then my training started from there. Joined a local dance studio, did like a whole mentorship program on how to choreograph correctly, how to teach. My wife had a big hand in all that because she's been teaching since she was, I believe, 14 years old, but she's been
Wow.
dancing since she was like 4. So she has like years on me.
Straight
I
up.
still learn
Yeah.
from her to this day. Like she's still teaching me stuff.
That's
So
dope.
she's wife and she's sensei at the same time.
It's beautiful. I love that. Honestly, it's like that's really nice right there.
Yeah.
What type of styles would you say you do?
Well, okay, so this isn't the correct terminology anymore, but just for a lack of better words, and so people can kind of understand what I'm saying, is I do like a hip hop style.
Mm.
But now people kind of did away with like that term hip hop in the
Mm.
dance community, and now it's just called open style,
Okay.
which just means like a mix of different styles, like
Yeah.
popping, locking, breaking, house, all of that. And I do have like foundation training in popping. That's like the only like foundation fundamental training that I actually have.
Uh-huh.
I have recently been taking a lot of house classes and have taken a few or dropped into a few over the past few years. But I'm kind of like a mix of like popping, house, and a little bit of jazz.
I love that. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, for me, I am more breaking foundation, and then I've been wanting to get more into like locking, popping. House is actually like what I would love to focus on too. Actually,
House is so fun, man. It's such like a free movement type of feel. It's
yeah,
very like, very relaxed on the
yeah,
upper body, and the feet are just like guide. It's fun, man.
yeah.
It's very, very fun.
I
I
definitely
would
need to take a
definitely
class with
recommend
y'all. Honestly, like, yeah, like I'm sold.
Please.
I'm coming
We
up
don't
there.
live far from each other too.
Yeah.
We're a few hours away.
Okay, you're the
Yeah,
first.
okay.
Okay, I mean, like for me, I agree with you. Everyone in SoCal is like, oh my god, 30 minutes. I can't do that.
No, bro. Like I can knock out a 3-hour drive pretty easily. Like I actually like driving. Most people don't, but I actually enjoy
Wow,
it.
that's
Like
pretty
I'll
good.
drive to Vegas before I fly.
Wow,
I mean, it's only 6 hours.
only
so
6
I'm
hours. Just only 6 hours. What's the big deal, right?
I mean, I've driven across the country twice.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that'll open your mind, honestly.
Yeah, it's like a 40-hour drive from like coast to coast.
Golly,
like
have you done that?
Yeah, twice. I drove because I moved to Georgia when I was 10 years old. So
Okay.
we drove from California to Georgia.
Oh wow.
And just like picked up and like started from scratch out there. And that was like a 4-day trip. But my mom was driving at the time.
Okay.
And then I flew here when I moved here.
Uh-huh.
And my older brother decided he wanted to move out here. So I was like, all right, I'm going to fly to you in Georgia, and then I'm going to drive with you back because he had a bunch of stuff he had to take.
Oh, you're a homie. Okay.
And so we drove it in 3 days though, instead of 4.
Whew, huff
Yeah,
that.
we were going, man. It was fun though. It was really fun.
That's cool, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
do you have a favorite stop, like when you do that type of trip too?
No. Actually,
go.
Yeah, I prefer not to stop because
Yeah.
like I like to know what I'm around. I'll say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like don't get me wrong, I'm adventurous, but I'm also like cautious too.
You're a smart horror protagonist, you know.
Exactly. You know, in other words, I'm black. So
Yeah,
I just don't want to die.
that part, right?
You know, I just don't want to die. That's all.
Oh
I'm just trying to
man,
live. Just trying to live out here. So we just
that
go. You know,
that
we
sounds
just
really
go.
hard, but that's good though. You know, like like kudos to you. I like driving too, although
Mm.
I don't know how I feel. Like, I mean, I'm sort of the same way when I do these road trips too. Like where I usually do like an annual trip from LA to Dallas,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
I
that's
still
a
have
good
my
one.
car registered in Dallas.
Whoa.
Hope the
Bro.
IRS does not get me after this.
Oh
But
man, you sound like my mom. She did the same thing. She had her
hey,
car registered in Georgia for like 6 months.
hey, yeah, 6 months. Yeah, 6 months.
All right. All right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I would never do anything weird. But anyways, yeah, no, I get that. Like where I usually try to do like in like 2 days versus like,
Mhm.
people are like, oh, you should do the scenic route, and I'm like 1 day, but
Mm.
I sort of just want to keep going.
Yeah, just go. Just
Yep,
go. There's
I
nothing like
did.
just constantly going and finally like getting there.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
yeah. Honestly, like I think it's better just to be there. But then again, people about the journey. It's funny. Like us One Piece fans were like, "Just hurry up, get there." Right? Like, isn't it about the
know.
journey with you guys? Not
Hey, man,
always.
just with what we're watching, not with what we're doing. Okay.
It's straight up.
No, I like quick results. Best that they can possibly be.
So, speaking about long journeys, right?
Oh God.
We got it. Well, like actually, before we get into that, I did want to ask
Okay.
about like your faith, and I guess like in this modern era, it's like how has that been for you, and like do you find it hard, I guess, or like even like more of a good thing for you, like as you create your content?
Yeah. No, I think okay. There's a really like simple way to answer that, and that's just like I am a Christian unapologetically. I am not an extremist at all. And I think that people do tend to get the two confused,
Yeah.
like people hear like, "Oh, you're a Christian. Oh, you must hate like gay people." I'm like,
Mm,
"No. I love gay people. I
yeah.
have no problem with like anybody." Or, "Oh, you're a Christian. You must be like anti-abortion or whatever." I'm like, "No, that's just an assumption that you just made because
Yeah.
people are just loud and
Yeah.
extreme about stuff, And I'm not gonna dive into like all of that stuff, but people do make assumptions because of really, really loud people. Just like people make assumptions about One Piece fans because of really, really loud people,
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, no, those people don't represent the vast majority. They're just the only ones that you hear and see, But like me as a Christian man, I put God first in everything that I do. And to be honest, as a creator, I was not doing that at first. I have been a Christian for a very, very long time. But when I first started creating, I want to say the first year, I was doing things that was true to me, but I wasn't talking as something that was true to me, if that makes
Really?
sense.
I guess
I
more
was
like trying to fit in, I guess, with like how other people are talking, or how so?
more so with like, all right, this is what I think would be funny, and this is what I think is okay and not okay. So
Mm,
like for example, like people knew that like my first year of creating, I cursed a lot in my videos.
yeah.
Like, F bombs, B word this, all of that, like and like now that you've met me, you're like,
Yeah.
I don't really hear Tracy curse like
I
that.
know,
So
right?
I
Like I was
don't.
like, do you curse like that? Right?
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. When I was creating, I normally don't talk like that in my day-to-day like conversations
Yeah.
with people. I don't really curse that much. I might let one slip every now and then, but every time
Yeah.
I do, I'm like, oh, excuse my language, because I truthfully try not to curse.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing struggle. I ain't gonna lie. You might
Hey,
catch me slip every now and then.
hey, good on you. I'm not gonna judge you, especially now. Like I used to like never curse, and
Yeah.
then is the water faucet's on, honestly. Like
And that's fine.
God will
That's fine. Each their own.
Yeah.
Let the sad music play. But everybody has their own thing, But like for me, I was like, I don't really feel like I'm representing myself that well with the way that I'm speaking in my videos, because I'm trying to like be more funny But I'm like, I can be funny without talking like that. Like, I don't have to,
I
you
like
know?
that.
And I was like, and most important, like, I'm not putting God first in speaking this way.
Yeah.
Now there are Christians out there that curse, and that's fine for them. There's no judgment casted on them. I don't judge nobody for what they do. You know what I'm saying? If you curse as a Christian, do your thing, player. Like, we can still talk about Jesus. I just might not hop in that conversation with you. But like,
Yeah.
we good.
Yeah.
Do your thing. But for me, I just wanted to represent my faith to the best of my ability. Now, do I make Christian content? No, I make anime content. I love anime and I love gaming. But will I talk about God on unapologetically in my Twitch streams? Yeah, of course. Like, people know that I start my streams off with a prayer. They know that I end my stream with a prayer. But I always let people know you do not have to pray with me if you don't want to. If it makes you uncomfortable, you don't have to. You can mute the stream for a second, hop back in when I'm done. And I also let people know in the Twitch stream, like, I'm a Christian, but I accept any and everybody that comes into my community, and I'm gonna treat you the same as my Christian brothers and sisters. I'm gonna treat y'all the same as people who are Muslim or Buddhist or whatever. Like, I'm gonna treat all of y'all the same because we're all human at the end of the day. Like, I love and appreciate everybody.
I love it though. I think I wish more people would do that. It's like, whatever you are, honestly, like, treat everyone to like a high standard, and like, honestly, treat everyone well, but not exclude people because they're not part of the group or whatever, like, or and also, yeah, I really appreciate what you're saying. It makes me disappointed, like, how I guess, like, like, the image of Christianity these days, honestly, is like, honestly, like, to me, that's what bumps me out the most, like, where people use Christianity to
spread hate.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Like, it makes me so sad. Like, whereas, like, I feel like Christians should be known by like the good works they do and like helping people. But then again,
absolutely.
that's
I mean,
a whole.
like, everybody has their own say on like what Christianity is about. Like, people will spread this and that and say this is what a Christian is supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. But like, to me, I'm like, all right, like, I just follow what's in the Bible, and like, one of the main rules is to not cast judgment on other people, otherwise you shall be judged. And I'm like, okay, so like, if God is saying that, why the heck would I go around judging people that don't live the same lifestyle as me, judging people that love different people than I love, judging people that walk a different life that I walk? Like, that's not what God called me to do. It says it in the book. Like, I'm not about to do that,
That
like,
part.
I'm gonna show love to everybody. I'm gonna live and try to live in Jesus's image as much as I possibly can. I'm gonna fall short all the time and hope that nobody judges me for falling short. And I ain't gonna judge nobody else for falling short. And I ain't gonna judge nobody else who doesn't follow that in general, because that's your choice, And like, that's, I don't know. People, we could talk about this for hours and hours because people really do try to misconstrue stuff, But I might get negativity for that too, because
I know, I love it though. I like everything you're saying is like giving me life. It's like, whoa, what about what the Bible says versus like, I think too many people don't read the Bible and they follow like what their pastor says. Maybe like a political way. And I think that's a bummer.
Yeah, I do too.
And I think, yeah, like, honestly, like, I love that. Just treat people well. Don't cast judgment because, we all fall short.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like, also, I wish that we had more of a culture of redemption, versus trying to get people punished, but that's a whole nother conversation for sure. And I'll definitely have to bring you back on to talk more about that. But I appreciate you being open with that.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, like, we can discuss it for a very long time. And I definitely do. Like, I know I'm on a little bit of a time limit today, but I want to come back on this for sure. Like,
I would love to have you back on because we
minutes.
haven't even started talking about One Piece yet. But I'm also scared. I'm low key a little scared to start talking about One Piece because I'm like, whoa. We only have so much time at the moment.
Yeah. For those of y'all that don't know, we're on a little bit of a time crunch today. It's my fault.
This is all good. I appreciate you being on, honestly. Like, it's so. That's where I'm like, I want to be like a little bit more intentional with what I'm asking you, at least especially at this time for sure. I did want to ask you about your community, like how'd you get that started, and then like come up with the name. How's all that been going too?
Okay, so I only have a name for one community, and that is my Twitch community.
Ooh.
And I would even say like the live streaming. I'm gonna just say live streaming community in general, because people like live stream on TikTok, people live stream on YouTube. I've live streamed on YouTube I was live streaming on YouTube for about 4 months there. Before I, excuse me, had a little burp.
Professional.
But, I was live streaming on YouTube for about 4 months. And I built like a really strong community over there. It was super duper fun. But then ultimately I made the decision to move over to Twitch. They basically hit me up, and I can discuss this stuff too, because it's open, I won't discuss numbers or anything like that. But they were like, hey, we want you to come over and stream on Twitch and just try us out for like a few months, so we did like a little 6-month thing, and I was like, okay, let me try it out. Initially I wanted to stream on Twitch, but I was just kind of hesitant to do it. I did it for a little while before I went to YouTube initially, and it was cool, but I was like, I don't really have a following on Twitch, but I have a following on YouTube. Did that, they reached out, now I'm back on Twitch. And then I was in discussions with people over at Twitch about so many different ways to bring people from different platforms over to Twitch. And that put my mind into overdrive, because I was like, okay, I'm on this 6-month thing. I want to see if I can really make something happen in the next 6 months. And for me, that didn't mean becoming like a top 100 streamer. It meant, can I really build a community that actually loves being here in the next 6 months, and so there was so many ways that I went about that: posting on Instagram, creating straight up just ads for my own Twitch. And then that evolved into, I can just throw like a little Twitch thing in the middle of my skit that people already enjoy, so that they don't feel like they're being fed an ad, but they're just getting a little bit of information in the middle of a skit that they're already laughing at.
Yeah, your stuff is smooth, honestly. Like, where it's like, oh, okay, I'm learning. It was like, okay, you're like, you pivot and then bam, pivot back, and it's like, this is smooth. It felt good.
I appreciate that, because I worked hard on that. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, y'all, I think that I'm gonna go this route, and it ended up working the best, honestly, because I realized like people don't just want to be force fed stuff. Especially in this day and age where everybody's attention span is like this, it's not that big, and I can't really blame people for it. It's just, it's the content that we're being fed these days. Everything is short. So I was like, all right, I got to figure out how to turn this short thing into something that's long, which is live stream. And that was the way that I fell onto that and got people in there, ended up getting so many people in there. Like I would have like 100 to 200 people in my live streams at once, but then I would look at the end of my live stream after being live for 2 hours, and it would say, 2,500 people tuned in today. And I'm like, oh my God. But I forget that the number is like whoever's in the live stream at that moment. So people would come in, come out, come in, come out, stuff like that.
Okay.
So to my understanding, I was like, the maximum amount of people get in here is 200, but it was actually 2,500.
Yeah.
And so I was like, there's a lot of people actually clicking on and coming in, even if it's just for 5 minutes. I mean, I would notice like there's so many different people chatting. People are like, hey, I'm on lunch break right now, blah, blah, blah. And then they would just, dip out. But anyway, that community got so big. And one day we hit a certain amount of subscribers, and I was like, dang, we're like the village hidden in subs. And then somebody was like, yeah, the Hidden Sub Village. And I was like, that is our name.
Bang, bang.
Like,
all right.
Is it right there.
I like it. I have been wondering like where that came from. I mean, of course, Naruto, but at the same time, I was like, who
it
came
was a
up with that
happy
one?
accident. And then like that, once we came up with a name, it was just on and popping from there. I was like, you know what? We got to create ranks since we got a village, So I'm like, all right, if you're a subscriber, you're a villager. If you are somebody that gifts over 100 subs, you are a HSV army member. HSV army member.
Okay.
So that means like, you're a protector of the Hidden Sub Village. You're a ninja, basically. Protector. And then once you get into the thousands, which those are like crazy people. Like we actually have like 7 people that have gifted over 1,000 subs to the community. Like they are wild. They are absolutely wild. I love them so much. But they are considered a HSV pillar, which means that they are the foundation of the village. They hold the community on their back, and they will carry it when they are in it. So like we started creating like a whole hierarchy and stuff, and people really get into it. And like, I love it. People refer to each other as their HSV army names. Like we give them a name once they hit a certain amount of subs. which is 100. So like somebody's name is HSV Chief. So it's like, oh, that's the chief right there. You know, we have a samurai. That's the samurai right there. We don't call each other by like our names. We're just like, oh, that's who you are in the village. You know, it's very fun. It's very fun. But that's my favorite community because we actually connect and like we've built something from the ground up. You know, so like I think the live streaming community has got to be like my favorite community. But TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube is just, you know, they take in my content and I just try to give as much as I can to them as well.
That's good though. Yeah, I mean, I've appreciated the streams I've been able to watch. You know, it seems like a lot of fun. Everyone's talking with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, even like knowing like your brother, right? Like, or like you know, like knowing the family.
Oh God, yeah.
And then
my brother.
I actually wondered like how your brother feels about it. Like,
oh man, he's funny. He gets clowned a lot because he sucks at games.
Oh,
he's always dying.
But he's still doing it though, right?
He's still doing his thing, you know.
Yeah, to the man in the ring, right? Like that's at least you're trying, right?
Yeah, he's doing his thing, you know. I let him do his thing too. People don't know this as well, but my little brother, he does create content too. I ain't gonna air out his name right now because he wants to build his name on his own, and I respect that.
Okay, good luck to him. You know, I mean, I say, hey, use whatever you can, but at the same time, I think that's very respectable. You know.
Yeah. And I'm like, bro, just like do your thing. You know.
Yeah.
I was like, but just know, I was like, if people realize like who you're
Tracy's
connected
brother,
to,
right?
I'm like, they're gonna like probably not be that nice to me.
Yeah. I have something to say about the big three.
Yeah.
Right?
And honestly, he's been getting that a lot. Like he sends me screenshots all the time. They're like, oh, you're like a Tracy wannabe. I'm like, yeah, you got to ignore that, bro. I was like, that just comes with the territory. People are just mean. People shouldn't be, but they're just
yeah. Like what's up with that? Like I guess what do people like get on you for? I guess
for me, like okay. I will say this. All right, now we're diving back into like the people liking to downpour negativity on the people.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've been blessed with a really positive community, but I will say that the 10% that I do read, and this is kind of a weakness of like anybody who has any kind of following and gets a certain amount of attention. The weakness is when you look in that comment section, you can see so much positivity, but the negativity is going to stand out.
I hate that. Like, I wish humans didn't have to be like that, where like 90%. I was about to say like, oh, 90% is great, but yeah, that 10% really sticks out, huh?
It is a battle, man. It is something that even like as strong-willed as I am, like I struggle with too. You know, when I see a comment, I'll go to my wife. I'll be like, why would a person say this? And she's like, that bothers you? I'm like, yeah, kind of. You know, like a little bit, you know, but it's very short lived because I realize like these people they just want to hate just because, you know, like it's just what they want to do. And most of the time, these people that hate, they don't even have their own picture as their profile picture.
Yeah, right.
It is a cartoon character or anime character or whatever. Like they just want to do that because that brings them a little bit of joy to whatever their negative life is. You know,
like I think that's what bums me out too. I guess like anime characters or people who purport to watch anime bringing like a lot of hate. This is like, are you watching this? Are you watching the same thing I'm watching? Especially for One Piece fans. I'm like, how are you racist? And you watch One Piece.
So funny. I literally said that to somebody like 5 days ago, bro. Like,
straight up. That one's the most baffling to me. Like where it's like are you sure you're watching the same thing? Like, are you watching One Piece for the fights?
Right. Oh, okay. That's gonna have to be a whole separate podcast episode because we can talk. I can literally go in with you on that because I have so much to say.
Oh man.
As far as like what people get on me about, the thing is, you will never know what my opinion is on something unless you talk to me directly. You will not know how I actually feel because of my skits. Ever. My skits are to entertain and to be funny.
Because also, I think you do a good job of showing both sides or multiple sides within the skit. Like, where it's like, oh, who is even like main Tracy, honestly, with this, right?
You'll never know.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, unless you ask me directly, I'll be honest with you if you ask me directly.
Yeah.
You know, but like for the longest time, like people were so confused on if I hated Dragon Ball Z or not. And I'm like, y'all are just confused because y'all see me like making these skits
Yeah.
about like Naruto coming for Goku or whatever, and it's like I don't hate Dragon Ball Z. I
Yeah,
actually
no,
love Dragon Ball
in
Z.
fact, yeah, it felt like love, honestly. Like, whereas, like,
Yeah.
like to be able to say what you say about Dragon Ball, never felt like, because there's some people who are like, oh, Dragon Ball's not great, and I
Mhm.
never felt that from you. Like, it always felt like we respect Dragon Ball, and
Yes.
especially like I think more like making fun of like the arguments people have online. I think about it.
Yeah. That's honestly where like a lot of my inspiration comes from, is seeing what people are talking about and then just making fun of that, or like picking a side in that video and then picking the other side in the next video. Like I'll have a video where I'll like bag on Bleach or
Yes.
whatever, where all the characters get on Bleach. But then the very next video, Bleach is clapping back with some other
Yep.
facts. And
Yep.
it's just a constant clap back that happens either in one video or in a series of videos. And people will take those videos and be like, Tracy hates this. You hate that. How can you say that Dragon Ball Z sucks? I never said Dragon Ball Z sucks, not one time.
Yeah.
Ever. Where did you
Yeah.
get that conclusion, sir?
Yeah.
Or ma'am? Never. It never happened. Like,
Oh man,
I love Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z was like one of my first animes, bro, and I think it is goated. I think that I know because of what Oda and I'm drawing a blank right now.
I guess Kishimoto.
Yeah. Oda and Kishimoto have said like, bro, like Toriyama is their inspiration.
Yeah,
for
rest in peace. Also,
what they are. Yeah, rest in peace, Toriyama.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? He's literally the GOAT.
The GOAT, straight up. Straight up.
Like, you can't discredit that. You can't sit here and say that like Naruto would be as great as it is if Toriyama didn't exist and create Dragon Ball. Because honestly, we don't know if Naruto would have ever been created.
And that's the truth. I'm glad we're in this dimension, like where it's worked out so far like this. Like these greats have built up on each other, and I mean, I think it's sort of wild for someone to be like I at least take it so seriously. These these arguments and conversations to be like this is better, like especially like I guess like people take the rankings of anime so seriously.
Oh man, yeah. It's not that deep.
It's not, especially like a lot of the big three conversations. Like I love like the videos you do, but
that's my favorite.
It does bum me out when people like take it so seriously and be like, One Piece is number one today. Oh no, Bleach is number one today. I'm like, yo, chill out.
Like, that's funny. I actually have a video releasing today about that. Because there's a whole conversation about like what's the worst of the big three going on right now. And it's funny because it's like at one point in time, like so many people will argue like, oh, this is the big three. This is the big three. And I'm like, I don't think that y'all actually know what the big three is, which is why I'll use my videos sometimes to like educate people a little bit and be like, oh, this is actually a fact. Like, this is a legitimate thing. This is who the big three is. Big three is not your top three or your favorite three. Those are two different things. Two different things. But so many people will argue like, this is the big three, this is that. And now the argument has shifted into like, oh, which of the big three is the worst? But it's like, bro, y'all are just constantly proving why they're the big three because y'all are still talking about them.
Still, yeah, exactly. These are like 2000s, right? Like 20 years ago at this point. Like it's not like, I mean, these are still very relevant series, all of them. Like in fact, like they're all like have found new life where they are like currently, but at the same time people like still talk about it as if like these are the only titles that have ever come out too sometimes.
And it's like, bro, and you know what, now that you say that, it's actually quite smart of each of these series to maintain relevancy this long, because One Piece is just, an ongoing series, a masterpiece, but Naruto now has Boruto, so it's still maintaining relevancy. And then Bleach disappeared from the face of the earth for so long, but now we got the 1,000-Year Blood War anime.
And it's popping.
And it's like, oh, Bleach is back. And it's like, nobody expected that. But I think that I personally think it was a strategy, because I think that they could have been done this, at any given time. But they were like, you know what? This is all the source material we have. Let's keep people loving Bleach for the next 5-10 years, because people did, Bleach was still in the conversation for a very long time. And then
Yeah.
As it starts to die down, let's release thousands.
Oh, we got more, right? Because
you know?
which I really dig. For me, is like my personal feeling about Bleach. It's like I adore Bleach. I think it has like the most style. But I low key think it's a little hollow, and I wish. Like I was really excited for Burn the Witch, to come out and like maybe like be like the successor to Bleach, But I am really loving like Thousand Year Blood War a lot, and I am happy that people are getting into it actively right now. Although I would ask you, would you tell somebody to watch Dragon Ball or a Big Three anime today? Especially if they haven't watched an anime before.
I wouldn't give them that as their first anime at all. I would never tell somebody to watch Naruto, Bleach, Dragon Ball, or One Piece as their first anime. Like
I might do One Piece, honestly, but
well, like I guess like obviously those are like some of my favorites, right?
Yes.
But I think if there's somebody new that wants to get into anime, I want to start you off very soft and light because you're delicate at this point.
Fragile.
You're delicate. You're fragile. You're like a child. And I have to treat you
gently.
Gently.
One Piece.
One Piece. No,
that's all you need.
I start with a more gentle approach to people. I'm like, all right, I want to find an anime that has a mix of everything, a mix of action, comedy, romance, and good storytelling. Because ultimately, those are like some of the genres you're going to be looking for in there. You're going to figure out, oh, I like action more than anything. I like romance more than anything. I like dialogue and storytelling more than anything. So I personally go with like a Sword Art Online kind of a deal because specifically the first season. Whatever happens after that, that's up to you.
That's you. Keep on going or stop, right?
Me personally, I did fall off after season 3.
Fair.
That's just me. But I will
you kept going with that's pretty good, I think.
I did. I went all the way up to the girl that got sick. But season 1. Like if they would have kept that energy, bro, Sword Art Online would be like a top 5 anime for
people. It would be talking about it today actively like that. Honestly,
yes. Oh my god, season 1. I watched season 1 alone like 3 times just because I was just like, this is I want to feel that again, you know. And it's really really good. But I always recommend like something like that, like a Sword Art Online. I might even go like a Rising of the Shield Hero. Something along those lines. And then if they like that and I see what they're gearing towards, then I might introduce them to like longer animes. We might go with like a JJK, we might go with a Hunter x Hunter, and then we'll dive into like, oh, well, this is kind of like where all of these came from. Here,
I like it.
Watch it.
Yeah, there we go. I like the way you think, honestly.
It's a strategy. It's definitely a strategy, But to elaborate a little bit further on another thing too, with like the negativity that happens in the community, one of the biggest things that I'm seeing in the anime community right now is people love watching like hot takes. People love that, and I like reacting to it. I'll post my reactions to some hot takes here and there, but I will say, just because it's entertaining to watch, but I will say that like, this is how I feel. People can disagree with me, but how I feel is that if you actually have a hot take about any anime, I don't think that you're an anime fan. I just think that you have shows that you are a fan of. Yeah. I don't think that you're an anime fan.
Yeah.
Because like
like a fan of the medium, right?
Exactly. You're not a fan of like the art, the culture, and like the whole aspect that surrounds.
Yeah, they can like respect like different aspects, hopefully, right?
Yeah, like anime is beautiful, man. It is a beautiful thing that most of us cannot create or replicate in any kind of way. We can just sit back and appreciate.
I always wonder how the Japanese do this. I'm like, how have you guys made like consistently dope art?
Right. Like, where do these ideas come from? And if
sober?
You really, But if you deep dive into like a lot of animes, you'll see like, oh, people got these ideas from like real life situations and stuff. But like if you're somebody that just goes around and you're like, oh, my hot take is like Death Note sucks. It's like, oh, you're not a fan of anime.
Yeah.
And it's not because you feel like you don't like Death Note, but there's a difference from saying like this sucks to, oh, it's not for me.
Exactly.
There's a difference, you know? And I always tell people that too, because people constantly come into like when I'm live, they're like, Tracy, what's your anime hot take? My answer is always the same. I don't have any, but I do have a preference, and I have shows that I didn't necessarily enjoy, but I can understand why other people would enjoy it.
I think that's beautiful. I think that needs to be the conversation, or like how people talk about it these days. I love what you just said, because people love to be like, oh, it's objectively horrible. And I'm just like, no. Even like the worst thing, I think, can like still has value. Like it's not like it is bleh,
No.
you know?
Like absolutely. Like there's a handful of animes that I've given a shot that I'm just like, it's not for me. You know, and I'll give them a shot because it's popular. Like, for instance, The Eminence in Shadow, right? Everybody loves that show. I watched it. I watched like 6 or 7 episodes, and I was like, I definitely understand why people like this. It's not for me, but I understand why people like it. I'm gonna move on to something else, but y'all can have this one.
I like that. Yeah, we only have so much time anyways, right? Like, don't force yourself to keep going what you don't like.
And there's like thousands of anime, bro. Like, there's so much.
There's so much. I keep saying I want there to be a season of no new series. Let me catch up or rewatch a show, honestly.
Honestly, yes, bro. Please, can somebody just put a halt to
straight up? No new content we need a fallow season, you know? It's like I have such limited time, and I would love to watch so many things, but I can't. I haven't even seen Eminence of Shadows, or I don't know too much about it, honestly. But
no, I feel you on that. I think that specifically with like new shows that are getting ready to drop, can y'all just relax for a second?
Fall is about to be crazy.
Oh my god, bro. Yeah. Okay, I will say though, thank you so much for putting me on to Don. Thank you so much, bro. Okay, I have not caught up all the way on the manga yet, because like that 1 week I had so much time. Yeah. And I read like all of Kaiju number 8.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And then I read like 51 chapters of Don. I haven't read it since, but I've been meaning to go back to it, so I'm still there. But man, I saw the trailers, because there's like 2 trailers now.
Yep.
Bro, it looks so good.
It is gonna be great. Like I saw the first episode in Anime NYC.
Oh, you
banger,
yeah. Oh my god, that makes me so mad that I didn't go to Anime NYC.
It's all good, but also actually, literally tomorrow they're doing in theaters. They're doing G Kids is doing the first 3 episodes. So
of Don?
Yeah.
Wait,
and then it comes out October on Netflix. So yeah. Oh my goodness.
They're doing a Netflix release.
Yeah. Although I don't know if it's going to be weekly or like all at once.
Really?
I don't know.
Holy crap.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Oh my god. Wait. Okay. I'm missing information on that movie theater thing.
Yes. Yeah. Like I'll send you something, because G Kids is doing it. I need to actually go get theatrical tickets, because I really would love to see it. But Don, banger. Bleach is coming out. Uzumaki's coming out at the end of the month. Dragon Ball Daima is coming out soon. Yeah. I'm just like, whoa, slow down. There's too much already this season.
Yeah, a lot. We got Blue Lock season 2 next month as well.
I forgot. Bro. Oh no,
Blue Lock season 2. Oh, Solo Leveling next month as well.
Already?
Apparently. Yeah, somebody just told me earlier today. It was like Solo Leveling comes out in October. I would fact check that, but I guess October is about to be scary.
Oh legit. No, bro, just drowning in too much goodness.
So much. Oh, also, while I have you, this just a side note: are you going to LA Comic-Con?
Ooh,
I'm going apparently.
Okay, because I'm wondering actually. Like I just found out when it is. I'm actually thinking about trying to throw a party. So,
well, I'll be in LA.
All right. Hey,
officially.
We'll love to have you there.
It's like the only convention I've gone to this year, bro.
That's crazy. Yeah, I got
so busy.
Good on you, but also we need to get you to more poppin' cons too.
I know. I mean, like going to Japan this year was like
we didn't even talk about that yet. Oh my goodness. No. Okay, I just gotta get you back on the podcast soon.
No, yes, please. Honestly, like we can you can get me back on in like a week or two if you want. Like it's
I might take you up on that, honestly. Like, dude, it was good talking to you. I know you got to dip in a bit, but I'm really glad that we got to like start talking right now. And yeah, we'd love to talk to you some more soon.
Yeah, me too, man. Thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate you as always. You're the freaking GOAT. The
Thank you,
GOAT.
sir.
Oh, I started Akane Banashi, by the way.
Oh, I hope you
did.
like it. For me, I adore it.
I'm loving it so far. I was very shocked in the first chapter.
Straight
Like
up, me too. I was just like,
ending?
whoa.
I was like, what?
Yes.
Hold up.
Yeah, that's how we get started.
That escalated so quick.
Yes, and I mean,
Oh,
where it's
God.
right now currently, like it's starting to address that. So
Okay.
it's really
Okay,
dope.
cool.
It's really
Cool,
dope.
cool, cool.
Dude, thank you so much. Where can people find you also?
Oh yeah, y'all can find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. All of them are at I'm Tracy Allen. IMTracyAllen. Hope to see y'all in one of those communities. Yeah.
Love it, definitely. Yeah, and definitely I'll be there too. And also, thank you guys, everyone listening all the way. Got to bring Tracy back on because we just very shallow. Like this is not shallow talk, but like there's just so much more to go deeper into. Like
so
we didn't even start talking about One Piece.
I don't even think we scratched the surface.
Oh my goodness! Like I was like, if I start, we're not gonna stop. But bro, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
And everyone, stay dope, y'all. Peace.